My name is Kayla and I work for Świat, Języków, and today in this lesson I want to talk about easily confused words. And these words are even confusing for some of us native speakers, whether it's pronunciation or the difference in meaning. So let's talk about a few of them. Our first ones I want to talk about recipe versus receipt. Recipe, we are talking about a set of instructions to help us make or prepare something, usually our food. So I might say, my recipe tells me to chop all of my vegetables and put them into the bowl. As when we look at the word receipt, you'll notice when I say receipt, the P in here is silent. And receipt refers to a really small document that you might get when you purchase something that says, you purchased it. So if I were to use receipt, I might say, when I went to the store and I purchased my shoes, the sales associate gave me a receipt. It might also be called an invoice. Let's look at our next one. So ingredients versus contents. Ingredients refers to the individual parts that are combined together to make something. So we use ingredients in our recipe. And as far as contents, we're talking about all of the things that are inside something. So if I'm talking about my purse, I might say I'm looking for my keys, so I dumped out the contents of my purse. So the most important part here is contents are all of the things inside something, and ingredients are the individual parts to make something. So if I'm talking about making pancakes, I would say my ingredients are eggs, flour, sugar, and milk. Our next set we have sensible versus sensitive. Sensible means that you're acting in good judgment. You're making good decisions. So I might say, my daughter is the most sensible of all of my children. She is reliable and trustworthy. As we're sensitive, we're talking about being really upset easily by something. This might be your husband is losing his hair and he's feeling really sensitive about going bald. He's really upset by it. And our last ones, we have dessert versus desert. So first I want to talk about the meaning of these and then we'll talk about pronunciation. So dessert, we're referring to that sweet treat that we get after one of our meals. So maybe that's cake, cookies, ice cream. And desert, we're referring to that really dry land of area, not a lot of water, not a lot is growing. So let's talk about pronunciation, these two. So when we're talking about the word dessert, we want to put the stress on the second S here, so dessert. As where desert, we want to put the stress on the S here, so desert. So desert, dessert. So now that we understand the difference between all of our words, let's try and use them in context. So follow along with me as we go through these sentences and help me fill in the blank. So Martin loves blank. He has one after every meal. Are we looking for the word dessert or desert? I think the most appropriate one for this one would be Martin loves dessert, which refers to that sweet dish after every meal. Let's look at sentence number 2. The problem is eating all that sugar affected his weight. He became quite blank about it. He became quite sensible about it, or he became quite sensitive about it. The correct answer for this one would be sensitive. He was easily upset about gaining some weight. Sentence 3. Then he bought a blank book. He learned how to make lots of healthy desserts. Then he bought a receipt book, or he bought a recipe book. I think the right one for this one would be a recipe book, which gives us instructions on how to prepare our food. And for our last sentence, the key is using lots of fresh, natural blank. So he wanted to use lots of fresh, natural ingredients or lots of fresh, natural contents. I think the word we're looking for here is ingredients, which refers to the individual parts of our recipe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.